What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Verbal Garbage, coming at you hot and live and super fucking frustrated. I've been sitting here for 10 minutes trying to get my internet to cooperate. Lost my AirPods the day before my plane ride. We got a lot, okay? Pretty sport heavy episode, if I do say so myself, this week. We got a little bit of UFC to cover, a lot of NFL, and just some other random thoughts, maybe a current event here or there, but let's get into it. So, NFL started last Thursday. Lions and Chiefs kicked it off. Entertaining game, I guess. Not the greatest slate of week one games and not the most competitive matchups, if you will. Not everything really came to fruition as far as some of the big games on paper that we thought were going to pan out. Didn't quite pan out as we would like. A couple that come to mind were the Steelers and the 49ers game, the Giants and the Cowboys game, and Bengals and the Browns game wasn't super competitive either. So a theme me and a friend noticed over the weekend was, you always get these contracts and these quarterbacks and all this stuff going on, and they usually live up to it. I don't really like the way this hat looks, but you know what? The head's pretty bald right now, so we're trying to. The head's getting some hair, so yeah, I don't know. So the quarterbacks off. This is no research, so I could be wrong here. No fact checking. Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, I believe, all got pretty large contracts over the offseason, and those guys that I just mentioned did not live up. Now, come on, we know Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts are going to make their money's worth and be worth every penny. But, Daniel Jones, I don't know how the New York media is going to react to that. Personally, I'd be a little worried just due to the lack of explosive weapons he has to surround him. And the playmakers overall, you got Saquon, you got Darren Waller, you got a couple receivers from, whatever. So, you had the slate Sunday. First year, me being a formerly known as DirecTV, but the NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. It's my first year ever having access to this. And, I'm the guy that even when I don't have games on, I'm streaming them, I'm watching everything. I admit that I probably care a little bit too much about sports at this point in my life, but can you just stop caring about something that you've been passionate about your whole life? No. So, an absolute insane experience, guys. The first Sunday of my life where I was able to really take control with the remote and have any single football game at my fingertips, whatever I wanted. Now, to you, might not sound like a big deal. To me, huge deal. Couldn't help but observe Bill Simmons, the pretty much my North Star of podcasts, the person who I kind of I would say emulate as far as trying to cover a little bit of sports, a little bit of pop culture. He's incredible. It's someone who to say I strive to be like would be an understatement because he sold his network for hundreds of millions of dollars to Spotify. But to bring the passion every week, talk about things that I like. I got to get ready for a wedding this weekend and got to get some of my stuff together. But I wanted to come on here and just get on the airwaves for a little bit and just talk some garbage, This hat's just not working out. Thank you, Jenny, for the hat. I love it. It's just, as you can see, there's like a giant gap right there. So the Eagles game, not exactly what you want to see personally if you're an Eagles fan. The loss of Shane Steichen was pretty apparent, unfortunately. We're definitely going to have a little bit of a leap to get ready, and definitely talked about topic over the weekend, but I would like to throw my 2 cents into it. The preseason, right? It's this thing where you play your guys and you risk the chance of injuries, or you don't play them and then you run into the chance of looking a little stale and stagnant like the Birds did yesterday or on Sunday. So I'm all in favor. I think the fourth game of the preseason, we should have our starting unit out there for like 1 or 2 series, maybe 3, like play the quarter. Now everyone who's going to say, well, you can get injured, you can have an injury happen. Well, look at the Jets, guys, on Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers comes out like a prime Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's fucking making his entrance, holding the flags, got the fireworks, the stadium's blacked out. And a couple snaps later, my boy tears his Achilles. So tough break for the Packers, or tough break for the Jets. It's not exactly how they want to start off their season, but it just goes to show, like, at any point in time, injuries can occur, and the worst case scenario for the Jets is having their starting quarterback, the biggest offseason move in years, pan out like that. But when you're playing the game of football, guys, it's a risk you take. And I mean, the Eagles slid away with the victory, so it's all good, but it's a little closer than we like. Sunday Night Football, don't need to cover too much. An absolute blowout. Cowboys, Giants. Cowboys, I love it. They have these wins and everyone starts hyping them up right away. Like now it's, Eagles, Niners, Cowboys, the top three teams in the NFC. And we'll start hearing that all year. And then as we get close to the playoff time, that's going to start disintegrating, I'm telling you, because, it is what it is. But Aaron Rodgers, you don't root for an injury, but you got to think when you're 39 years old and you're a little bit older, you're definitely more prone to things. And watching the replay, you don't think anything really serious happened, and ends up being a torn Achilles for an older athlete like Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to say it's the absolute death blow, but there's a pretty good chance that's the last time we saw him on a football field. So how are the Jets going to pan out? Just not quite sure, guys. But you know what? It's a good thing we're not Jets fans, right? Monday Night Football, we just talked about it, so we're pretty good. As far as my earliest impressions, obviously I was impressed with San Francisco. I'm Eagles fan, so I'm biased. AFC looked pretty pedestrian. The Dolphins looked incredible. Shout out to my boy Pat, one of the only true Dolphin fans I know in this world, and I get it. It's not easy. You're mostly known for Dan Marino and your color scheme, and we respect it. Tyreek Hill is still one of the best receivers in the league for my money. So it's going to be a fun year for football. And sorry for the non-football fans out there, but you know what? I love just talking sports. So if I ever have the pleasure of getting my boy Sharif back in, we were trying to do a preseason show, didn't quite work out. So now we're trying to make our schedules align so we can come in here and do a little football breakdown and just talk some gambling, talk some spreads, do some predictions, and kick the shit like we always do. Still trying to get my social media booted up here for some current events, but before I get into that, let's just do one more touch on the sports, okay? UFC happened over the weekend in Australia. I believe it was 294, maybe 293. Prelims, as always, I'm watching the beginning. Incredible card. We're getting finishes. We're getting, I think, back-to-back fights ended in a rear naked choke in the early prelims. Like, we're just getting a lot of action, and it's all leading to the one big dance, the main event. And regretfully, I will be honest, this is one of the few legendary all-time UFC fights that happened that I did not unfortunately see live. I was playing golf the next morning. I was up early that day. I was just tired and just couldn't make it. I watched the first round and I think the third or the fourth round, but I did not get to watch the fight in its entirety. Israel Adesanya, the champion, versus Sean Strickland, the very controversial contender, if you will, who's known for his gay epithets and his racial insensitivity. So we can relate a little bit on a couple of those fronts, unfortunately, Sean and I. So pretty much nobody had him winning. Nobody really thought he had a chance. Ends up going out there and kind of dominating, pushing the pace for five rounds and making it his fight. So one of the craziest upsets of all time. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it live, but you know what? This is sometimes what happens when you're I don't know what, but so now the UFC's got kind of a controversial figure for their champion, if you will. And is Sean going to embrace this new villain role, I guess you could call it, or is he going to try to give it a turn and try to get more back into the graces of favor with people? I'm not sure how it's going to go. He's very free flowing on a microphone. So immediate rematch. Not quite sure Izzy deserves it, but kind of be nice to see something new in that weight class. Speaking of the villain, went out and played a little best ball on Sunday. Little golf action 2v2, and so the deal is I play. It's me and my buddy, and then his cousin and his cousin's coworker are the team we play against. So we already established our dominance. We lifted up one of our four legs and took a nice hot piddle on the territory and marked it as ours. And we decided to go play another course. Not gonna matter. Go over to Meyer Lee, where first time back since Windowgate. We're nervous. We're definitely alarmed, but we get there. We're just talking. They request 3 carts, and right away I'm like, 3? What the fuck? And they're like, oh, they have someone from work coming. So I'm like, okay, so we're playing 5 now, or are we doing 2? Ends up being an attractive young lady. I'm not gonna say young, but she's not old. She was one of them gals. So extremely straight white teeth, just dynamite personality. Anyways, I'm like, is this the intimidation factor? Like, what are we doing here? Is this like, are we psyching us out? Not only do these two guys talk a lot of shit, but now they're bringing decoys. On top of all that, I come to find out last week. So let's just call the rivals, the teammate I'm going against, Gentleman X and Gentleman Y. Gentleman X starts getting into Gentleman Y's ear about, man, that was the first time we ever played with Frank, but he's telling Kate he thinks we suck and we're not any good. And so this whole thing starts getting put in motion now, where I'm this guy talking all the shit, acting like I'm really good at golf, and I'm saying that their game is pathetic. Mind you, I've been golfing for about a year. I'm not really in a position to talk shit on anyone's game, but will I do it? Of course I will. Not to guys I just met. So this lie's going on, and I'm thinking, man, we could be in a little trouble here. I get a text later in the week that teammate Y is at the driving range all week, pretty much every day, really, trying to shake off the cobwebs, I guess, and get ready for old Freddy Two Shoes. So didn't make a fucking difference at the range. Now, did it, bro? Now, I'll tell you what, first hole, didn't have the best shot of my life, but still was good enough to be the best out of them four, right? Us four. So proceed. We get a big lead early on, blah, 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 blah. Goes great. Had an amazing time. First time in my life I'm able to go play golf in the morning on a Sunday during football season, then come home and watch football. And I look forward to more of those. Fantasy football underway. Start off 0-1 in one of my leagues and 1-0 in the other. If you guys haven't done it, it's one thing when you're a diehard fan like me and you know all the guys and you can live and die by, certain picks and then get upset, taking a risk and not panning out, taking a risk. It does pan out, going high on a guy and he fucks you. It's just the roller coaster of emotions all year, and I cannot wait. The shit talking with the friends and just being in the league and taking guys that they wanted. So it's just fun shit, So I tried to portray the golf villain guys, but I couldn't make it last, and it's just one of those things. I go to golf to like not think about, outside stuff, whatever it may be, and detach from, I'm not going to say life, but just kind of go there and you solely think about golf because you have to concentrate and think about it, because if you're not, your game suffers immediately. And that's just it. We're in a world now of, sure, I can go out golf and have fun, but you got all this programming at your fingertips and the streamers have really taken over and it's their world, and I was a pretty early adapter of the streaming. Been doing them for quite a while now. I'm someone who loves TVs, shows, documentaries, movies, live sports. So it's a big part of the boy's life. So price increases and price changes are very common in this world, but how many times do we need to get greedy and take a bite of that goddamn apple, So just got an email the other day from good old Disney that they're hiking their price up to $18.99 starting next month for their little bundle per month. Bundle is ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney. Now, some people are like, oh, $18 for 3 apps. Okay, yeah. My big gripe here is that I don't have the ability to solo out and isolate and get ESPN Plus by itself. I'm not really watching much Disney Plus. I think I got it originally because it was the bundle, and Mandalorian came out. I was into that, but recently, like if I want to go watch Ratatouille, I can record it on YouTube TV or I can stream it. Like I don't need to have Disney Plus. Hulu's cool, but the ads with Hulu make it just not. So now I'm paying $19 for a month for 3 apps, but I'm only really using one. Kind of got my ass chapped right now about it. I'm mulling here because I really want to pull the plug on it, but I need ESPN Plus for golf and UFC coverage, and they do tennis and random baseball games will be on there. When I say baseball, I mean the Phillies games that I want to watch. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, guys. That once you, nah, you know what? I'm not gonna say it, but it's just a little fucking frustrating, right? So obviously being recorded the day after, I want to just do a quick tribute and shout out to the families of the victims who lost their lives in September 11th, 2001. A moment, one of those moments, unfortunately, where you'll always remember where you were at, who you were with. Not funny enough, but coincidentally and ironically enough, the two people I was with right after school that day, I can't even remember how exactly. I was at school, and okay, so school would get out, and then we'd all kind of, because my two best friends still to this day, but growing up in school, were two guys in my neighborhood that were a year older than me. So they'd be in fourth grade when I was in third grade, or whatever the case may be. So we got out, and I remember like my friend Brian just said like, "Do you know what happened?" And I just said no, and then like I could tell something was wrong. So I was like, "Did somebody die?" And he's like, "There's a lot more than somebody," and that was like, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things that'll always be ingrained in your memories, and just horrible. So I'm not. This isn't really the space for like a sentimental tribute, but I just would like to honor anyone who was affected by that or knows anyone affected by that. Which is one of the worst events in American history. And I was seeing some stuff the other day about how much America's changed since 9/11 for the worse, and like I read a couple different takes on it, and it was a little grim, but unfortunately, there were definitely points that were made there that have some validity. So take that how you will, but I don't know, just a wild thing to go through. So the social media, the current events this week, guys, they're not super juicy, but you know what? We're committed to the shtick now, so we're gonna do it. Football was a pretty heavy topic of the week, and unfortunately, it's one of those things, guys, where if I don't have a lot to talk about, I can do an hour on football. So there's just going to be things due to my algorithm that are going to come up that are football related that you might not care about, but guess what? I might turn you into a football fan, or you might not know, and then you're hearing on the Verbal Garbage Show. So let's go. Uh, Via Dove Climbing, shout out to Dove from the NFL. Report: Patriots coach Bill Belichick and longtime girlfriend Linda Holiday have broken up, which is causing Pat's executives to quote be on edge, per the Daily Mail. The report says that there is concern about what Linda might post about online after the breakup. The report also says it's been in quotes, drawn out back and forth breakup. So what do we make of this, guys? Um, Amazing football genius breaks up with his attractive longtime girlfriend. Can't that just like can't that be it? But now we're living in 2023 where we're in a world where the Pats executives are on edge. What exactly could they be on edge about? What Linda might post online about their breakup. Like what? Now I hope it doesn't come out. It's one of these stories where, you know what I mean? He's like, who the fuck knows? But I hope it doesn't age poorly. This is just a bizarre story to me, and I just thought it was topical with football going on, and some high profile breakups on the horizon. We love the celebrity drama, we love the all that kind of stuff. So I just figured I'd wet my beak with a little bit of football drama, and Bill Belichick's rarely in the news for that kind of stuff. So just thought that was interesting. All right. So on Instagram, we got a little bit more juice on here, guys. So it's Twitter was a little weak this week, if you will, but Instagram we got some juice. Okay, so we'll hook you guys up with a little share screen action, and so you can see it as we talk. All right, it's first story. Serpico, Godfather. We got some real classics. The Irishman. Al Pacino's done some really good things in his life, right? Our boy got victimized, guys. 83-year-old actor Al Pacino and his 29-year-old girlfriend break up after birth of first child. What does that sound like to you, guys? Huh? Did the girl have to sacrifice a couple minutes in the bedroom and, maybe a year or two of mingling with a guy who's what? 54 years her senior? Now, listen, I'm the product of a relationship where parents are 18 years apart, and some people have made jokes about that in my life. I get it. You know what? 54 years, bruh. And there's a appropriate time. I get like, okay, that would be maybe if no, because I was gonna say like this at this type of age gap, this is like the best case scenario, I guess, for them, because I was like, well, 10 years ago he's 73. Okay, well, she's 19. So fuck, man. Homegirl here. I wish we could get a little background on her. I just this is one of those things, guys, where we've heard of an anchor baby, right? Well, what do we call this? Like, there's got to be a term. To Google we go. Now there is a term for. Oh my god, my internet is still so fucked. Well, this could certainly derail the podcast right here, guys. The internet is still having issues, and term for girls who want babies by rich men. Is that a pretty good Piranha Women? Let's fucking go. All right. So we got an article right here, just spinning off of what we're talking about here. Can we pull it up, Daily Mail, or no? Piranha Women. Sorry, guys. I know it's taking a second, but this is a pretty important conversation I'd like to have right now. Okay, so we got the girl and Al Pacino. They have this relationship. Everyone's speaking glowingly of it, and then they break up right when the baby's born. Sorry, young lady, but now I got to go down a wormhole that I didn't really plan on going down because of you playing my boy and doing some shady shit. All right. So, guys, if you haven't heard of this before, I allow verbal garbage to educate you and teach you another little thing. We're learning together. So, shout out to Larissa Brown from the Daily Mail. This is quite an old article, if you will, but still applicable to 2023, guys. Wealthy men are being tricked into bed by single women who deliberately get pregnant because they view a baby as a career option, a top lawyer warned yesterday. Yeah, I mean, are we surprised by this? Where we got, we're living in the era where girls are farting in jars and selling the jars to some fucking incel creep who's sitting behind a laptop and just paying for farts in a jar. Yeah, so you got OnlyFans, you got all these other avenues of careers, but just simply getting pregnant is a career option. They're literally, I mean, just imagine like everyone talks about, and I can't relate obviously, but the feeling of having a baby and making a baby and like it's yours and you created that under the pretenses of love, and then it's like the baby comes out and then the mom's just like, oh wait, there's my meal ticket. That's like my golden, so I just kind of find it a little strange. Now is this girl gonna grow to love her baby? Maybe. But is it possible in 5 years the baby, or 10 years, 15 years, the baby scrolls on the internet somehow and comes on the Verbal Garbage Show and reads about his mom being a piranha woman? It's possible, guys, okay? If the trajectory goes the way I'm planning on it, it's possible. A meal, just like this article says, they equate a baby to a meal ticket and a gourmet life for the next 18 to 21 years. So my question is, what do these young ladies do after the 21 years and the meal ticket's over? Because as although I don't think this Piranha Woman is exactly my cup of tea. Am I in the position really to be begging and not choosing? You know what I mean? So, or beggars can't, you know what I mean? Can choose and not fucking whatever. So, yeah. Thank you, Al, for the content. Sorry, that's pretty brutal, but whatever. Guess you got another baby on the way, right? So, or another baby to take care of, whatever you want to say. So this was pretty topical to me and a couple conversations we've had before, and we've talked about me being a pot stone and just loving the weed. Well, the BFG is unpacked. It's a 20,000 milligram legal gummy. Am I going to pull up the link from High Times? No, I'm not. But when people say like this is white people shit or what are white people, this is white people shit right here. Normal people get high off like 10, 20 milligrams. Unfortunately, I'm not normal. It takes me a decent dose. But 20,000 milligrams, like what are we doing? Who is that like split at a party between 10 people? And even still, I mean, you're talking 2,000 milligrams. I simply can't fathom it, guys, but okay. So next one here. Woman has astonishing list of demands if a man wants to take her on a date. I have a feeling this one. No? Excellent. Okay. So again, another pretty topical one to your boy where just trying to prove myself, I'm just trying to get a chance to show myself out, I think I can put on a pretty good showing for a nice deserving young lady, but the era that we're living in now, guys, we get these broads that are messaging, acting like they're no. So let's just tell the story like it is. I'm not embarrassed, right? This is full disclosure, the Verbal Garbage Show. We're here as a family, we're here as a friends, we're here as a community. Okay. So how it goes is I wake up, do my thing, get on the work truck and do my thing, whatever. Come home. I don't do the apps too often, but like, I've admitted I'm on two of the dating apps, not paying. So please reserve whatever judgment you may want to cast on me. Just hold back as much as you can. I'd appreciate it. Sentimental guy, I care about what you think. Do I? I don't know. It's kind of the evolution of Fred right here, trying not to care, but Bumble, for those of you who aren't familiar, is I guess it's an app tailor made to fucking pussy ass bitches like me, where you can swipe and like a girl, but then she technically has to message first and make the first move, if you will. So I just thought that this would be a more appropriate approach because of one of my big fears is coming off as like this creep who's trying too hard, whatever, right? That's just like no one wants that. I'm on here casually, just seeing what's out there, as the girl says. So I just put my name, create a little stupid profile with a couple dumb pictures and a couple little things just about me, things I like, blah 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 blah. So I get this pretty nice little fox, and I hope I didn't tell this last week. I don't think I did, but obviously one day I liked her profile mindlessly, just whatever. And she liked mine. We match, message, hey, blah blah blah. We go talk for a few days, cool, everything's just basic back and forth, basic shit. Pretty much get to the point where she's like, oh, do you have Instagram, blah blah blah, like here's mine, follow me. So I just not going on Instagram too much. I was just in the moment, just conversing back and forth. I was like, all right, so cool, Instagram, and then I just keep the conversation going. Like 2 or 3 days later, the conversation's still kind of going, but albeit definitely a little slower now. And I'm like, is this because like I didn't follow you right away? So then I go to follow her on Instagram. Pretty, clear who I am. So I messaged this thing. Oh, I don't know who this is. I was like, oh, well, this happens to be the guy that you messaged on Bumble and then you gave your Instagram to. Like, it's pretty much just making me feel like a fucking creep right away. And I'm like, all right, like, seriously? So then I'm just saying, like, blah, blah, blah. Then she's like, oh, I remember now. And then we kind of go on to another little day or so. And then I just said, like, I meant, like, she told me she liked this play. Like, I was like, all right, let's go there. Yeah, awesome. Let's just pick a day. So then I was like, hey, you still down to go out to X, Y, and Z on X, Y, and Z night. No response, and then I get hit with a block. Like, this is the era we're living in now, guys, where I make my interest known, I follow up on the interest, and then I get fucking blocked. Like, seriously. So I just, I called my sister and was just talking to her about it. And she's like, well, what happened? Did she follow? I was like, yeah, and then I got blocked. So it's just like, is it really worth putting the effort in for these floozies who are, trust me, I know you don't got hobbies. Like, I know you're not. I got fun stuff. I got cool things I can do to keep my time occupied. I just think it would be fun to meet someone. I'm trying to do it, quote unquote, organically. But are the dating apps really organic when you get these fucking broads that just like give you their names so you follow them? Like, is that what that was? I don't know what that was. Very strange. But to go on a dating app to match with a guy who, let's be real. I mean, I'm not a 10 out of 10, but I'm a catch. I'm a catch. Catch. I'm a catch. I mean, right? It's just like, we match, you message me, you give me your information, then I message you on there and follow up, and now I'm like the weirdo who gets blocked. So pretty dope. Pretty much my life on these dating apps is a pathetic excuse. And so that's where we're at. We mindlessly we go. If someone looks interesting or like, looks are cool. I'm not all about like personality, interest, hobbies, outlook on life. That kind of thing is a lot more important to me. Everyone loses their looks eventually. I mean, right? So, wow, that was a long segue into the next current event here, but let's go, baby. So we got a girl on here, guys, who could end up being one of my matches, right? She's got some high demands. So let's read these, and would you go on a date with her? That's the question. Before you ask me on a date, just know I'll only agree to lunch or dinner depending on my schedule, and you will have to provide the following first. Yeah, so is she like a CIA agent, or what are we doing here? Your schedule, and it's this important? I wonder why she's looking for a date, and you can say the same thing about me. I could tell you a bunch of reasons why I'm still single, but this isn't about me. This is about Julie. So her first stipulation, $50 for gas. I refuse to ride with you in case I want to leave. Okay. $50. How about I just pick a place that's like within 5 miles from your house, and like, what? All right, I'm already out. Like, I'm already out, because if I go to a restaurant and they have like an amazing entree that's like $50, I'm gonna be like, I'll find something like 32, right? So now I'm gonna give you $50 for gas regardless, just so you can have the power. Bitch, no. $75 to $100 for a babysitter. Or you could pay for 2 more meals. So we got a single mom with 2 kids now, guys. She's online on Facebook advertising her services. But no, you have to pay for my gas, and you got to pay for a babysitter, unless you want to bring my 2 kids that how do I listen, bitch? You want to have 1 kid with a guy and then not be sure? Fine. 2 kids with the same guy. No. You tell that dad to come babysit because you're trying to go out and fuck and you're trying to meet someone new. Me as a potential suitor, I ain't paying for your kids, all right? Especially if it's a first date. Like, if we're married and then like you with stepkids and I'm Daddy Warbucks, I'll throw a couple bones here for mommy, and but Jesus Christ, first date and I'm already down $150. Did we get to the dinner yet? Fuck. All right. $100 for a Shine Hall. SHEIN. I need to be able to try on a few options for our date. Hey, single mother of 2. You don't have a closet? Where are your clothes at? It's a first date. I'm not paying you to fucking go out and do some What's up? What is a Shine Hall, for Pete's sake? How about that? What is a Shine Hall? Okay, so it's a fast fashion retailer where influencers This is starting to explain some more. Where influencers, where influencers model mountains of new clothing that can be purchased for a fraction of other retailers' prices. So I paying for her gas. Okay. Now, hey guys, we're not sexist here. Isn't a first date mutually risky for both parties? Like, I could not like you just as quickly as you don't like me. So why don't I have any insurance policies going on here? Uh, Based on this girl's like Facebook ad or whatever you want to call this, I think whoever the guy is going to have a little more leverage and can be considered more of a catch. And listen, this is just my personal thing here, and let's call it out and be honest. I'm definitely not opposed to ever taking on a woman who has a kid or kids maybe from another relationship. Is it ideal for me? No. Um, I just it's just a product of how I was raised. It's nothing against anyone. I was raised with two parents that have been the same parents my whole life, and that's who raised me. I just would find it strange, like if I'm here trying to teach, this kid how to ride a bike, but you're from someone else's seed, and then like it's just I don't know. I'm not saying there's been so many influential step parents in this world that have changed people, and I think I have the heart to do that, but I just don't know if it's really for me. So what I'm getting to here is if I'm on a dating app, this is just me, guys, and I see, single mom or mom of two, there's just a good chance that, and I, out of respect, like I remember one time I matched with a girl, she didn't advertise that she had kids, and she told me a little bit in talking that she had them, and I just very quickly put the brakes on and said in nothing but respect and, love for being a single mother, where I'm at in my life right now, I just am not ready to take that on, whether it be emotionally, like whatever you could want to say about it. That's just a little bit more like I'm still learning how to live. I'm still trying to figure out my path in life. And if it's your own kid, you're planning on it or you make that mistake, you live with that and you learn from that and you grow from that. But if it's someone else who did it and then I just listen, this might have come off as kind of a dickhead, but I don't mean it like that. It's a personal preference thing. What I'm getting at here is if I read this, I'd get to the first check mark and be like, okay, she wants $50 for gas. I'm not doing that, but I'm just going to read the rest for fun. 75 to 100 for a babysitter, pretty much I'm out. And I'm not going to say I'm 100% out, but if I met a girl that had kids, I'd 100% give her a chance. But if she's doing this shit and going on Facebook and meeting her demands and pricing it out, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'll stay single. I don't give a fuck. I'm not like, what? For the first date? So I'm 1, 2, 3, 350 before the dinner. So I'm $500-$600 into a first date. Met up with a nice young lady a few weeks back here and simply went to a restaurant, got guacamole, margaritas, $20, tipped the waiter 15 because he was cool. We never really progressed. $35, fine. $500. Oh brother. Okay, so it's not over. So she's got the shine hole, guys. So she's a wannabe influencer apparently. So she's an influencer who wants to get clothes brought to her to be able to buy them for a fraction of the cost. And mainly they're brought to her. She is not going to go out and God forbid she's got to drive somewhere on her own gas, spend her own money to buy her own clothes. And I don't know you. Why can't you go into your closet in your wardrobe? I've never seen any of the outfits. I don't know you own any. Like, it's all going to be new to me, right? Okay. We talked about this last one a few episodes ago, so this one really is hitting close to home here, and it's getting me a little fired up. $100 for my toes. No need to worry about my nails since I don't get them done anyways. Okay. So, young lady, recently, the last 2 times, I've spent $65 on a pedicure twice, and I've considered that to be a bit astronomical, if you will. Now, I get if you're living in, Beverly Hills or what's the place where the Kardashians live, Calabasas, then I can maybe understand, the cost of living in the area you're at is going to be a little more juicy, but $100 for your fucking dumb toes, bitch, when I don't even like. What if the outfit you wear from the Shine Hall requires you to wear closed-toed shoes? So now I'm paying $100 for you to scuff up your brain? Like, no, Absolutely not. I would message this girl back for fun. And it's just like, so she's advertising this to her Facebook friends. So this isn't on a dating app. But what does her profile on her dating app say? Does she copy and paste this and put it right on there? Just got to know, honestly. So $100 for my toes. No need to worry about my nails since I don't get them done anyways. Cool. No. So that's a no, 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 no. 4 no's. Separate paragraph. Yes, in all caps. You will be paying for the whole date. So I don't see anywhere about the dinner here yet. So this girl really thinks, $350 before even going out. Okay? Who's got a better chance of finding a relationship? Me or Julie? We'll put a poll up. It's a good one actually. Guys, I want your feedback. Julie or Frank? Who's getting some love interest first? I mean, this is how rough it's gotten, guys. We're comparing ourselves to Julie now, and I'm still giving Julie the edge here because men are pathetic, women are pathetic, but I think a man would do this more. Like, imagine if I put these demands on mine. Now, let me create. After I finish this, I'll create my own. Yes, you will be paying for the whole date. No, I won't be sleeping with you. And the second date, bad grammar. You had a period, and then you had the ampersand. Like, nope, fix it. Period, and the second date will depend on how well you tip our server. Okay, so we're looking at $750 just to get a chance for a second date with Julie. Ladies out there, I'll pay for the meals, the drinks. Well, let's even call it up to $150 for a chance at the second one. But $750 for a chance with Julie for 2. I'm good. Now, Julie, is this a recurring thing? Like each date, or do you have like a tiered, like a tiered pyramid, if you will, where first date, we're giving him 50 for he's got to give me 50 for gas. Second date, okay, he's proven himself. We're going 40. Now by the 5th date, are we down to $10? Are we down to like what are we doing here? Now would I give her the gas money? Maybe, but I would demand that she use my Get Upside promo code so I can get referral fees every time she gets gas. So, Julie, I'll think about number 1, but number 2, 3, and 4, absolutely not. If this is too much, then I'm not for you. I live my life like this already, and if you can't, then please leave me alone. Ladies, am I missing anything else? So to the few ladies out there that listen, is she missing anything else? Take 2, go. Okay, ladies out there, if you're interested in taking me on a date, I've got a checklist for you. I'm going to need $30 in gas money because I have a car bill every month, and paying for gas on my own when I could just make dinner to myself doesn't seem logical. So $30 for gas. Babysitter fee. Luckily, I don't have any kids, which you'd think would really make me a catch, but not quite. So let's call it, give me $50 so I can get my parents a little dessert on the way home, since I didn't mention I did live with my parents. Is that going to be okay? $100 for a shine haul. I have plenty of outfits, so you don't need to pay for any of my outfits, but I'll take $50 for some new groceries, perhaps. Like the night before, I want to make sure I'm in a good mood the day of, so I want to make sure I get a really good meal. So like if you could pay for my meal the night before, that would be great. And then I'll be in a good mood. Then we'll go on our date and I'll pay, but I want you to like fund the meal before, because like it just makes me feel a little bit more sure of it, And then lastly, $70 for a pedicure, because although I wear sneakers everywhere I go, I want to feel good. I want you to feel good. So, men, am I missing anything? I just feel like if you want to take your chances with me and you want me to take you out, that's my checklist. So, bye. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any new suitors after that pitch, but you know what, guys? Worth a shot. Moving on from whatever we just talked about for 10 minutes. I truly just blacked out, but I'm sure it was terrible. Scientists have discovered a rare planet that's around twice the size of Earth and covered by oceans. All right. The planet's name, TOI-733b, It's just one of more than 5,000 exoplanets that we know about after the first was discovered in the 1990s. Shout out to the 90s. TOI 733b was found 245 light years away by NASA's telescope TESS, orbiting a star only slightly smaller than our sun in a period of just 4.9 days. Its relative similarities could prove key to our understanding of planetary formations out there in the universe. So just another thing to be kind of flummoxed and bamboozled about, these space revelations that come out that we simply just can't understand. Quickly here, guys, not a long one, but a really good one. We got video here of this beautiful man who I would just love to know. Nigerian official was asked about missing funds, and our boy just pretended to faint. And as you can see here, they're shaking his shoulders. They're massaging him now. He's just sitting there. They got his mask pulled down. Now they're looking in his mouth. Like, this is literally all because he stole money and doesn't have an alibi for it. And he's literally pretending to faint. And the people are going crazy. Like, look at this one more time. It's just incredible. And then he opens his eyes. So, did he get away with it? Probably not, but dude, A for effort. Now he's got the eyes rolled back. He's excellent shit. Really good stuff. Shout out to Nigeria. Next story, not going to spend too much time because I don't know anything about it, but I had to save it. Insane. UFC fighter Hussein Ashkabov and his twin brother have been arrested in Thailand, along with 3 other men, for allegedly forcing their way into an Italian man's house, robbing, kidnapping, and torturing him. Does the UFC need to pay their fighters more? I think they do, guys. We got the highest, like, imagine you're reading a story about an NFL player going. Now, I'm sure you could find one due to the number of NFL players that are active each year, but this is a wild story. Was the guy super rich? Were the fighters desperate? Like, I don't know what's going on here. There's not a lot of context about the story yet. Picture was wild, story is wild, so just thought I'd bring it to your guys' attention. You're welcome. Some news that might hit close to home for some people here, and it's pretty topical since your boy's flying out tomorrow. Do I ever fly in Crocs? Absolutely not, but shout out to the people that do. Crocs are being banned from airports, train stations, and shopping centers, guys. So get a backup plan for your footwear going, because pretty soon, the picture here is a little Croc getting stuck in the little feeding mechanism at the escalator. Recently at an airport, here's a comment. Crocs saved my son's life. There was a loose open wire, and by mistake, he stepped on it. But just because he had Crocs on, nothing happened to him. Okay, I'm pretty speechless with that comment there. Yeah, so Crocs are being banned, guys. So one of those funny things, when they first came out, I hated them. So they're the ugliest things ever. I would never wear them. And 5-6 years later, my sister gave me one for my birthday or for Christmas. And occasionally, I got my 2 little charms on there. I'll wear them once in a while. Still hideous, but the comfort and the utilization of them is multifaceted, and I can appreciate that. Okay, so a couple demanded flight refund after being sat next to a farting dog on long-haul flight. Now, guys, this could be me in human form if I don't practice any discipline tonight. I'm fresh off the acquisition of a 4 cookie crumble platter. So all it would take is 1.5 cookies a night, and I will be that farting dog getting sued. Or, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if the airline refunded it, but I kind of understand the people's gripe here. Like, if a man's sitting next to you and he's farting, are you entitled to the same refund? I'm not really sure how this works. Was it a service animal? Because they're held to different standards. So it's got a little bit of a tricky story here. And without knowing all the details, I will not comment further. Last thing, guys, we'll end it on this, is on a happy, fun little note. So this is courtesy of The Athletic from Instagram. No team has ever lost 40-0 or worse, lost the sack battle 7-0 or worse, lost the turnover battle 3-0 or worse, had a blocked field goal returned for a touchdown, threw a pick 6. So no team has ever done those check marks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the same season. So again, one season goes on, 18 game season, 17 game season, whatever you want to skew this, 13 game or 16 game, however you want to judge this. No team has ever done these in the same season. Lost 40-0, lost the sack battle 7-0, lost the turnover battle 3-0, had a block field goal return for a touchdown and throw a pick six. That never happened in a season for one team. Our New York Giants did it in one game, guys. So for that, Verbal Garbage is out. Thank you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, and share. We love you. We're going to keep it coming. We got the first new chair set up. So we're transitioning to potentially move this into the computer suite next to me here. So we're going to be able to get some live guest action coming soon. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but as long as the content's being pumped out, guys, I'm going to keep sticking to my my beans here and try to get you guys as many episodes as I can and keep spreading the word for your boy. Thank you, guys. Peace. Catch you next week.